Chapter 11. King David. Then all Israel assembled before David at Hebron. "Look at us," they said. "We're your very flesh and blood. In the past, yes, even while Saul was king, you were the real leader of Israel. God told you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel. You are to be the ruler of my people Israel.' When all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, David made a covenant with them in the presence of God at Hebron. Then they anointed David king over Israel, exactly as God had commanded through Samuel. David and all Israel went to Jerusalem. It was the old Jebus, where the Jebusites lived. The citizens of Jebus told David, 'No trespassing. You can't come here.' David came on anyway and captured the fortress of Zion, the city of David. David had said, 'The first person to kill a Jebusite will be commander-in-chief.' Joab, son of Zeruiah, was the first, and he became the chief. David took up residence in the fortress city. That's how it got its name, City of David. David fortified the city all the way around, both the outer bulwarks, the Millo, and the outside wall. Joab rebuilt the city gates. David's stride became longer, his embrace larger. Yes, God of the angel armies was with him. David's mighty men. These are the chiefs of David's mighty men, the ones who linked arms with him as he took up his kingship, with all Israel joining him, helping him become king in just the way God had spoken regarding Israel. The list of David's mighty men. Jashobeam, son of Hachmoni, was chief of the 30. Single-handedly, he killed 300 men, killed them all in one skirmish. Next was Eleazar, son of Dodai, the Ahohite, one of the big three of the mighty men. He was with David at Pas-Dammim, where the Philistines had mustered their troops for battle. It was an area where there was a field of barley. The army started to flee from the Philistines, and then took its stand right in that field, and turned the tide. They slaughtered the Philistines, God helping them. A huge victory. The big three from the 30 made a rocky descent to David at the cave of Adullam, while a company of Philistines was camped in the valley of Rephaim. David was holed up in the cave while the Philistines were prepared for battle at Bethlehem. David had a sudden craving. What I wouldn't give for a drink of water from the well in Bethlehem, the one at the gate. The three penetrated the Philistine camp, drew water from the well at the Bethlehem gate, shouldered it, and brought it to David. And then David wouldn't drink it. He poured it out as a sacred offering to God, saying, "I'd rather be damned by God than drink this. It would be like drinking the lifeblood of these men. They risked their lives to bring it." So he refused to drink it. These are the kinds of things that the big three of the mighty men did. Abishai, brother of Joab, was the chief of the 30. Single-handedly, he fought 300 men and killed the lot. But he never made it into the circle of the three. He was highly honored by the 30. He was their chief. Still, he didn't measure up to the three. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was a mighty man from Kabzeel, with many exploits to his credit. He killed 2 famous Moabites. He climbed down into a pit and killed a lion on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a giant, 7.5 feet tall. The Egyptian had a spear like a ship's boom, but Benaiah went at him with a mere club, tore the spear from the Egyptian's hand, and killed him with it. These are some of the things Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, did. But he was never included with the three. He was highly honored among the 30, but didn't measure up to the three. David put him in charge of his personal bodyguard. The mighty men of the military were Asahel, brother of Joab, Elhanan, son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shemath the Hararite, Helez the Pelonite, Ira, son of Ikesh the Tekoite, Abiezer the Anathothite, Sibbecai the Hushathite, Eliai the Ahohite, Maharai the Netophathite, Heled son of Bani the Netophathite, Ithai son of Ribai from Gibeah of the Benjaminite, Benaiah the Pirathonite, Hurai from the ravines of Gash, Abiel the Arbathite, Esmaveth the Baharamite, Eliabah the Shaalbanite, the sons of Hashem the Gizonite, Jonathan son of Shagi the Hararite, Ahiam son of Sakar the Haranite, Eliphel son of Hepher the Mecherathite, Ahijah the Pelonite, Hezro the Carmelite, Neri son of Ezbai, Joel brother of Nathan, Mibhar son of Hagri, Zelek the Ammonite, Nahari the Beerothite, the armor-bearer of Joab, son of Zuriah, Ira the Ithrite, Gareb the Ithrite, Uriah the Hittite, Zabad son of Eli, Adinah son of Shiza the Reubenite chief of the 30, Hanan son of Maacah, Joshaphat the Mithnite, Uzziah the Ashtorethite, Shema and Jael the sons of Hotham the Arorite, Jediel son of Shimri, Joha the Tizite his brother, Eliel the Mahavite, Jerubai and Joshaviah the sons of Elnaam, Ithma the Moabite, Eliel, Obed, and Jaasiel the Mezobaite. Chapter 12. These are the men who joined David in Ziklag. It was during the time he was banished by Saul, the son of Kish. They were among the mighty men, good fighters. They were armed with bows, and could sling stones and shoot arrows either right or left-handed. They hailed from Saul's tribe, Benjamin. The first was Ahiezer, then Joash, son of Shemaiah, the Gibeathite, Jeziel and Pelet, the sons of Asmaveth, Berekah, Jehu the Anathothite, Ishmaiah the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, a leader of the 30, Jeremiah, Jahaziel, Johanan, Jozabad the Gederathite, Elizai, Jeremoth, Bealiah, Shemariah, Shephatiah the Horophite, Elkanah, Isaiah, Azarel, Joezer, Jashobeam, the Korahites, and Joelah and Zebediah, the sons of Jeroham from Geder. There were some Gadites there who had defected to David at his wilderness fortress. They were seasoned and eager fighters who knew how to handle shield and spear. They were wild in appearance, like lions, but as agile as gazelles racing across the hills. Ezer was the first, then Obadiah, Eliab, Mishmannah, Jeremiah, Adai, Eliel, Johanan, Elzabad, Jeremiah, and Machbani, 11 of them. These Gadites were the cream of the crop. Any one of them was worth 100 lesser men, and the best of them were worth 1,000. They were the ones who crossed the Jordan when it was at flood stage in the first month, and put everyone in the lowlands to flight, both east and west. There were also men from the tribes of Benjamin and Judah, who joined David in his wilderness fortress. When David went out to meet them, this is what he said: "If you have come in peace and to help me, you are most welcome to join this company. But if you have come to betray me to my enemies, innocent as I am, the God of our ancestors will see through you and bring judgment on you." Just then, Amasai, chief of the 30, moved by God's Spirit, said, "We're on your side, O David. We're committed, O son of Jesse. All is well. Yes, all is well with you, and all is well with whoever helps you. Yes, for your God has helped and does help you." So David took them on and assigned them a place under the chiefs of the raiders. Some from the tribe of Manasseh also defected to David when he started out with the Philistines to go to war against Saul. In the end, they didn't actually fight because the Philistine leaders, after talking it over, sent them home, saying, "We can't trust them with our lives. They'll betray us to their master, Saul." The men from Manasseh who defected to David at Ziklag were Adnah, Jozabad, Jediel, Michael, Jozabad, Elihu, and Zilithai, all leaders among the families of Manasseh. They helped David in his raids against the desert bandits. They were all stalwart fighters and good leaders among his raiders. Hardly a day went by without men showing up to help. It wasn't long before his band seemed as large as God's own army. Here are the statistics on the battle-seasoned warriors who came down from the north to David at Hebron to hand over Saul's kingdom in accord with God's word. From Judah, carrying shield and spear, 6,800 battle-ready. From Simeon, 7,100 stalwart fighters. From Levi, 4,600, which included Jehoiada, leader of the family of Aaron, bringing 3,700 men, and the young and stalwart Zadok, with 22 leaders from his family. From Benjamin, Saul's family, 3,000, most of whom had stuck it out with Saul until now. From Ephraim, 20,800, fierce fighters and famous in their hometowns. From the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000 elected to come and make David king. From Issachar, men who understood both the times and Israel's duties, 200 leaders with their families. From Zebulun, 50,000 well-equipped veteran warriors, unswervingly loyal. From Naphtali, 1,000 chiefs leading 37,000 men heavily armed. From Dan, 28,600 battle-ready men. From Asher, 40,000 veterans battle-ready. And from east of Jordan, men from Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, heavily armed, 120,000. All these soldiers came to David at Hebron, ready to fight if necessary. They were both united and determined to make David king over Israel. And everyone else in Israel was of the same mind. Make David king! They were with David for 3 days of feasting, celebration, with food and drink supplied by their families. Neighbors ranging from as far north as Issachar, Zebulun, and Naphtali arrived with donkeys, camels, mules, and oxen loaded down with food for the party. Flour, fig cakes, raisin cakes, wine, oil, cattle, and sheep. Joy in Israel. Chapter 13. David goes to get the chest of God. David consulted with all of his leaders, the commanders of thousands and of hundreds. Then, David addressed the entire assembly of Israel. If it seems right to you, and it is God's will, let's invite all our relatives wherever they are throughout Israel, along with their relatives, including their priests and Levites from their cities and surrounding pastures, to join us. And let's bring the chest of our God back, the chest that was out of sight, out of mind during the days of Saul. The entire assembly of Israel agreed. Everybody agreed that it was the right thing to do. So David gathered all Israel together, from Egypt's pond of Horus in the southwest to the pass of Hamath in the northeast, to go and get the chest of God from Kiriath-Jearim. Then David and all Israel went to Baalah, Kiriath-Jearim, in Judah, to bring back the chest of God, the cherubim throne of God, where God's name is invoked. They moved the chest of God on a brand new cart from the house of Abinadab, with Uzzah and Ahio in charge. In procession with the chest of God, David and all Israel worshipped exuberantly in song and dance, with a marching band of all kinds of instruments. When they were at the threshing floor of Kidon, the oxen stumbled, and Uzzah grabbed the chest to keep it from falling off. God erupted in anger against Uzzah and killed him because he grabbed the chest. He died on the spot, in the presence of God. David lost his temper, angry because God exploded against Uzzah. The place is still called Perez Uzzah, exploded Uzzah. David was terrified of God that day. He said, "How can I possibly continue this parade with the chest of God?" So David called off the parade of the chest to the city of David. Instead, he stored it in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The chest of God was in storage in the house of Obed-Edom for 3 months. God blessed the family of Obed-Edom and everything around him. Chapter 14. David builds. King Hiram of Tyre sent an envoy to David, along with cedar lumber, masons, and carpenters to build him a royal palace. Then, David knew for sure that God had confirmed him as king over Israel because of the rising reputation that God was giving his kingdom for the benefit of his people Israel. David married more wives and had more children in Jerusalem. His children born in Jerusalem were Shemuah, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibhar, Elishua, Elpelet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Beeliada, and Eliphalet. The minute the Philistines heard that David had been made king over a united Israel, they went out in force to capture David. When David got the report, he marched out to confront them. On their way, the Philistines stopped off to plunder the valley of Rephaim. David prayed to God, "Is this the right time to attack the Philistines? Will you give me the victory?" God answered, "Attack. I'll give you the victory." David attacked at Baal-perazim and slaughtered them. David said, "God exploded my enemies as water explodes from a burst pipe." That's how the place got its name, Baal-perazim, Baal explosion. The Philistines left their gods behind, and David ordered that they be burned up. And then the Philistines were back at it again, plundering in the valley. David again prayed to God. God answered, "This time, don't attack head-on. Circle around and come at them out of the balsam grove. When you hear a sound like shuffling feet in the tops of the balsams, attack. God will be 2 steps ahead of you, slaughtering the Philistines." David did exactly as God commanded, slaughtering Philistines all the way from Gibeon to Gezer. David was soon famous all over the place, far and near, and God put the fear of God into the godless nations.